I get the feeling Deadeye's signed up to be a rebel so he could have a roost to rule. Heck, he's no better than a lord. In some ways, he's even worse.
I know. How could he use explosives on his own people?
And yet, despite the toll of his actions, none of the Danans we've seen seem to question his assumed authority in the least. If anything, they may well consider him a hero, which would say a great deal toward how deeply they resented the Renans here.
Still, I don't think this is as simple as saying the good guys won out over the bad ones.
Yeah, I don't either. Deadeye might have managed to drive the Renans out of Niez, but that doesn't make the way he did it okay. No matter which way you look at it.
A victory that's earned by throwing away the lives of his own people? No, that isn't a victory at all. I can understand that the Danans here are standing up against their oppression, but that doesn't mean they have to humiliate all Renans just to settle the score.
I'm perfectly able to stand up for myself, Alphen. Besides, I'm used to it by...
But you shouldn't have to be, Shion. It's just... What I mean to say is, when you've been a slave for so long, it's easy to accept that's how it should be because it's all you've ever known. Constantly being belittled is no different. I don't think that's fair. For me or for you.
I just don't know, man.
Don't know what?
Deadeye managed to drive out a real live Renan lord. That's incredible. And he seems to have a lot of supporters surrounding him too. But he's got an attitude worse than any angry Zoogle. Plus, Niez is in utter ruins. I don't have a clue what his game is.
The Renans are powerful. And because of that, it takes a strong leader to have any hope of toppling them. However, when you take down one dictator only to replace them with another, ultimately it's just business as usual.
If it'd been Zephyr instead of Deadeye, I don't think things would have turned out like this.
Rinwell.
Yeah, I think so too. Zephyr did things differently top to bottom. He's not the kind of person who would have forced his own views or decisions on other people. When you do that, you're ruling over others, not leading them.
To be honest, I don't know what I would have wanted my dad to do if he was in that position.
Law.
The whole thing feels weird in a way. It's a weird kind of feeling, but at the same time, part of me also feels happy. Deadeye and my dad are two very different men. For now, I'm content knowing that.
The city is liberated, and yet the air still hums with fear and anxiety. It reminds me all too well of how Vicente once was.
Hums? You mean like music?
Yeah, none of this sounds like music to my ears. In fact, I've never seen any Danans with musical instruments in my life.
You don't need instruments to play music. It can emerge naturally from the sounds of people going about their day and the hustle and bustle of life.
You seem to care a lot about music, Dohalim. I didn't know that about you.
Have I not mentioned it? Before I was a candidate for the lordship, I had my heart set on the life of a musician.
You? A musician?
Indeed, music enriches the world around us. I trained day and night to hone my art. Words could not describe my bliss, as my notes carried with them the sights and sounds of nature, the ebb and flow of time, and the thoughts of people on the wind.
Dohalim.
Forgive me. My loquaciousness can get the best of me at times.
Don't apologize. It's interesting hearing what Renan culture is like.
Even though the Renans destroyed all of our arts and culture.
Personally, I was interested in the music of Dana as well. The fact that generations of lords deemed music to be of no use to their slaves and outright forbade the ownership of instruments is lamentable. Not that my words can undo the damage already done.
What's wrong? All right.
What the?
Hmm?
Hey,
Yeah!
good.
All right!
I always love the sound of hammers banging away.
That Deadeye creep certainly has a few screws loose, that's for sure.
Forget that guy. Right now, we need to discuss how we're going to proceed.
What's there to discuss? Deadeye and his crew have already brought down the Lord here. Just let them finish her off.
I want to go after her.
I second that. I think it's the best thing to do right now. We don't know if the Darkwings have what it takes to beat her. I'm worried what'll happen if we leave her to her own devices.
You make a good point, Rinwell. And maybe I'm just being overconfident, but between us and them, I think we have a better chance at defeating her.
I have to agree. This realm isn't going to be truly safe as long as that Lord is still running around out there. We need to act.
Fine by me. But isn't Deadeye just gonna take all the credit once we're done?
Our job is to break down the walls that oppress Dana. What he chooses to build in their place, that's his problem. For now, we'll head to this ESTE LUVAH forest Bayfon told us about. Whatever we decide to do, though, we should take some time to rest first. We've barely stopped since Menancia. Where are you going?
Alphen.
You should get some rest. What's got you up at this hour?
Just let me be for a minute, okay? Why don't you go back to the inn?
I will when you do.
Have it your way.
Shion. The Lord's days are numbered. I haven't forgotten our promise. You can trust me, you know. Maybe even lean on me a little. If you want.
And if I say I will you finally give it a rest?
Yeah, of course. Try to get some rest, okay?
What was all that about?
So we're just going to check things out, right? In whatever that forest is called.
ESTE LUVAH Forest. Next time, pay attention.
Got sand in my eyes!
The winds are strong here. Mind yourselves.
Ugh, even the inside of my mouth is all sandy.
Hootle, don't get blown away, okay?
The winds outside the capital are blowing as strongly as ever.
You can definitely see why people call this place the Valley of the Four Winds.
Indeed, Mahag Sar is the realm of wind, just as Ganeth Heros is for water.
Earth, water, fire, wind, light, and darkness. Rena is aligned to darkness, leaving each realm one element each.
Is that because some elements are easier to gather in certain areas than others?
That is certainly possible, but I suspect the biggest reason is to prevent the lords from squabbling over resources.
Funny. You would think infighting would come naturally to an elite class vying for a crown.
True, but the Renans rule as a minority. Fighting ourselves would just be destructive. Though, as you saw in Menancia, any abstention from fighting is merely a facade.
In the end, you all get usurped whether you like it or not.
That may be true, but something tells me that this time is different.
We have to catch up to the Lord first if we want answers. Let's keep moving.
What is that ring of rocks over there for? They don't look like they formed naturally to me.
Oh yeah. Funny, I guess I've gotten used to weird rock formations. They didn't even register as being out of the ordinary.
Most likely, they were brought over by us Renans when we first invaded the planet.
Wait, those? So does that mean there's some kind of machine then? And if so, what in the world were they even used for?
To manipulate the properties of Dana's astral energy.
Really?
Think about it. Isn't it strange that the type of energy each realm collects is so fixed? Astral energy by nature isn't meant to skew towards one element or another so heavily.
So the Renans reformed it for the crown contest.
Sounds like the crazy thing a Renan would do.
Renans these days are more advanced than Danans in some ways, but even they don't seem capable of doing something on that grand a scale. Or is that something that's possible on Lenegis? Or maybe the Renan homeworld?
I can't claim to know everything about my own kind, but I myself have never seen anything that would be capable of such a drastic feat.
But at some point they did just that. Those are the sort of people we're up against. We should do our best not to forget that.
You're so amazing, Kisara. You can cook, you can fix weapons. I feel like there's practically nothing you can't do.
Maybe you should take a page out of her book and learn to make yourself more useful then.
I'd be happy to teach you if you want, Rinwell. I learned most everything I know from my brother.
Really? Even how to sew and do laundry?
Yes, indeed. He knew how to do anything.
Sounds like he was a pretty handy guy when he was alive.
He was. I'd always follow him around and badger him with questions. I was a real pain in the neck. Now that I think about it, he and Legil were the ones who taught me how to raise cats, too.
Legil is that woman who was with him in the Gold Dust Cats, right? I remember now. The one with the really pretty hair.
Funny you mention that. He also taught me how to maintain my hair. Not that those lessons stopped it from getting all tangled up during training.
I think it still looks gorgeous.
From what I can tell, it would appear as though the only thing he didn't manage to teach you was how to apply makeup.
No, but that didn't stop him from trying. He really wanted to teach me everything. Only reason he couldn't was because I prioritized my training.
And here I was trying to make a joke.
I can't tell if she's being serious. The only one here who knows him well enough was her.
Yeah, I guess only Miguel could have told us if it's actually true.
This won't be easy.
Don't be such a pessimist.
Hear me!
He's in the sky and fly.
Raging cascade!
Megasonic thrust!
You all tucked away!
This one's all mine! Burn in hell! Too fast!
Stand back. I'll pick it up.
Dream! Annihilation! Lightning!
I'm on it! Mega prepare to
Now!
be sealed!
Ridwell! Astral energy! Full throttle!
Dragon Shell!
You're mine! Wind astral energy!
Can't get out of this! Armor won't save you!
One last dance in the wind!
Eat this!
Seal!
Now I'm in the groove!
Let's get you all ripped away! Now, Thunder Field!
Talon Hurricane!
More where that came from!
Megasonic thrust! Dragon Shell!
Tempest Downfall!
I'm on it!
Sweet dreams!
Megasonic thrust!
Flame of Fury!
So those are Dan and Astral Art.
Raging cascade!
Something you want to say? Not so long as you keep them pointed toward the enemy.
Here!
Megasonic
Can't get out of
Do it! This one's got your name on it!
Ash to ash!
I feel stronger. I mean, a bit.
Good. We're counting on you, Rinwell.
On me? Well, I'll do my best. I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Here's evil! Thunderblade!
Try harder! Try this!
I'm not so good with airborne targets.
Hear me! Flame of
Megasonic
Fury!
thrust!
Blind freeze! What's your
Still! Shion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done! Far enough!
Try harder! Here!
Ready and ready!
I can carve through armor! Megasonic thrust! Megasonic thrust! Eat this! I'll run you through!
Whoa! Hey! When's the time? Do it!
Prepare to be sealed. Actually, perhaps sound is more appropriate.
Let's talk and more
Take
doing.
this! No further!
You're mine! Tempest
Megasonic thrust!
Oh, here's the light! I'm only getting
Swallow
started!
blade!
Raging storm!
Talon Hurricane! Try!
Power of water!
Swallow blade!
Raging
Try this!
storm!
Try! Infernal torrent!
Tunnel! Light astral...
Big blast!
Loose
Soda!
I never miss! Art expert coming
fears
through!
come to
Gemini
an end.
Aqua! Annihilation! Here's
Nothing
the
gets
do
like
it!
me.
Thunder!
Wish they were all that easy.
Yeah, I think we might be getting too strong.
Isn't that good?
Play along, would you?
Somehow, things are even worse outside the city than they are inside.
Yeah, it's all ruined. Houses and everything else.
Even if it was all in the name of beating the Renans, this is...
really bad feeling about this.
It's on!
I'm only getting started.
Burn!
I'll heal you all.
No further!
Airborne beast. My
Mine Raging cascade. Sighted.
There you go! You got fire!
I got this. Let a marksman handle it. Raging cascade.
I'll smash you!
Seal. Mega ray.
Burn up!
Handy. By the power of water.
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah! To me!
Air thrust. Here's the evil. Raging cascade. Freeze laser. In here. I'll be saving you.
First try! You escape!
I never miss.
It's on! Burn it!
We are freaking invincible! Take
Alvin and the others truly are strong.
What about me?
Hey, now see that you don't get in trouble again.
Ready to go! First try! Denied! Water! Megasonic thrust!
The heavens must be smiling.
You guys want to rest here?
I feel all bent out of shape.
I know what you mean. Hard to settle down after seeing all those ruins.
We fought hard to help liberate the people of Dana, but every realm we've been to along the way could have easily turned out like this.
When powerful forces collide, the destruction they leave gets that much worse.
So we've been lucky things haven't turned out worse up until now?
Regardless, I don't want to see this realm get messed up any more than it already is. We have to capture this lord ourselves, no matter what.
Alphen, have you been washing your clothes? It may not be my place to say this, but frankly, they're starting to stink.
Now that you mention it, it has been a while since I did any laundry.
I'll wash them for you if you want. Just remember to give them to me the next time you get changed.
Oh, okay. Sure. Thanks, Kisara.
And, Law, Rinwell, yours are starting to look a bit ragged.
What do you expect? Of course they're going to tear up when we're out there fighting so much.
Yeah, but it's still kind of embarrassing, having it pointed out like this.
And Shion?
I wouldn't touch me if I were you.
Of course. My apologies. All I wanted to say was that your sleeves are getting a little bit dirty.
You don't need to worry so much, Kisara. It's only natural our clothes are gonna get a little dirty while we're traveling around.
That's no excuse. Your outward appearance says a lot about your inner well-being.
Now you've really set her off.
Suffice to say, it would appear that the traditions of the Guard are still alive and well within her.
What do you mean? What do the guardsmen do that's so special?
Mostly, I'm simply referring to the fact that they're a very regimented and cleanly group of people.
Do I really sound that weird to you guys? Keeping your clothes clean and mended is completely normal to me.
Don't get us wrong. We appreciate the thought, Kisara. But we've got a long journey ahead. It wouldn't hurt to relax your standards. Just a little.
If you're sure. I wasn't trying to overdo it, I promise. However, if it's making the rest of you tense, I'll do my best to tone it down from here on out. Still, if everyone could bring their laundry and clothes they want fixed, that'd be great. I'll take care of it all for you guys tonight.
Don't you ever get tired?
Dohalim, your spare bracers were getting dirty, so I polished them up along with the rest of your equipment.
Why, thank you, Kisara. I greatly appreciate that.
Maybe it's just my imagination, but you sure seem to fuss over Dohalim a whole lot, Kisara.
It is a little strange. Almost like you're still in his service.
Really? That's certainly not my intention. Besides, he's not the only one I'm like that with. Hey, Law, I saw your clothes were starting to get holes in them, so I stitched them back up for you.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Kisara.
Point taken. Do you just like looking after people?
I wouldn't go so far as to say I like it, but I get anxious if I don't. I'd always like to help if I can. It comes naturally to me. Back in the day, Miguel and I used to look after the younger kids a lot, so that's probably where it comes from. He taught me everything I know, and I mean everything. How to cook with wild plants, how to sew clothes so they'll last. Without him, we never would have been able to survive.
However, you're not a lord anymore, Dohalim. You need to get used to the idea that people aren't just going to wait on you hand and foot.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I'm ashamed to admit that I felt no qualms about her doing all that for me. As both a Renan and especially as a lord, one becomes too accustomed to those beneath you tending to your every need, both Renans and Danans alike.
Sure, that's how all you Renans are probably raised. But just to be clear, we're not your servants, Dohalim. Got that?
Absolutely. Moments such as this provide me with ample opportunity to confront my unease. It is difficult to tend with my own motivations.
What do you mean?
The truth of the matter is that my espousal of coexistence in Menancia hardly came from an idealistic place. That instinctive unease I feel deep within serves as a reminder for what it is that all of us here fight for.
Don't be so hard on yourself. No one's going to abandon you if you aren't always perfect.
Looking at her now, I think she's more like his mom than his servant.
What's up, Kisara? You look concerned.
Oh, no, it's just... I'm looking at our finances and they seem to have taken a nosedive. I don't remember us making any big purchases, though.
Ah, that may be because I borrowed a small amount to purchase something the other day.
I don't think you can call spending more than half of our money a small amount.
Half? Dohalim, what the hell did you buy?
As it so happens, I came upon a rather special object that I've long been searching for.
Are you talking about that junk? That unique-looking trinket you're holding?
Whoa, is that
Indeed. It is a lost artifact from ancient Danan times. Most likely, it was used for some sort of rite or ritual. Ever since we Renans conquered Dana, such objects have been disappearing. I simply want to do my part to help preserve both our people's storied histories.
Well, if it's to preserve Danan history, then I guess we can maybe look the other way. Just this once?
I don't know. Why spend money on something that won't even keep us fed?
More to the point, we all contribute to that money. I don't like the thought of anyone dipping into it without saying anything.
You must understand. Had I let that opportunity pass me by, I'd never have come across this item again.
Dohalim, maybe no one taught you that money doesn't grow on trees.
I may have been a lord, but I realize that much.
It's not enough to simply realize it. You have to internalize the concept too. Even after all this time, you still have no real sense of money. Our funds aren't your personal wallet. We camp outside and eat grass for dinner to try and stretch every last gold we have. You never know when we may need it.
I don't think we're so poor that we have to eat grass or anything.
Shut up, Alphen.
Shutting.
Let's just agree to not spend too much or be too thrifty for our own good.
Rinwell, mind if we chat a little? I noticed you haven't been training Hoodle lately. Is he doing okay?
Yeah, he's fine. He's been catching fish with Kisara, and he seems to be adjusting his diet on his own, so I'm not as worried as before.
Maybe that's his way of pitching in, so you don't have to do everything for him.
Yeah, maybe. I guess at some point he started taking a shine to everyone too, just like they did to him.
You sound like you're okay with that.
Yeah. More than okay, really. It feels natural having Hoodle and everyone around.
I know what you mean. We all support and take care of each other in our own ways. It's starting to feel like we're almost a family.
Huh. I hadn't thought of it like that. So does that make you everybody's dad?
Do I really look that old to you?
Huh? You don't like that? Okay, how about you be the big brother? Shion is the big sister. And Kisara can be our mom.
Well, then how about Dohalim for the dad?
I don't really get that kind of vibe from Dohalim. He's more like an uncle. An old uncle, who's too preachy and snarky for his own good sometimes. And as for Law... Well, Hootle took the little brother role, and Law's definitely not the dad. This is hard. Oh! Law can be the pet dog!
A dog? Do dogs really count as part of a family?
Of course they do! If an owl can be part of our family, so can a dog. When you think about it like that, we have a pretty fun family.
Yeah, a pretty big one as well.
That's why I like it so much. I wish we didn't have to do anything dangerous. I just want to keep traveling the world with you guys the way we are right now.
You okay?
Oh, it's nothing. Actually, I think I'm gonna go practice with Hootle for a bit. Hootle, let me know if you sense anything.